Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Elizabeth, and today we're going to be talking about Leila Hormozi and some tips and lessons that I've learned from her. So I don't know if you've heard of Alex Hormozi. I did do a video on lessons I've learned from him. He is working on being a billionaire, and he's super young, and he is just super impactful and influential and has worked really hard in his life and committed to his dream, even though he had a lot of self-doubt, even though his dad didn't want him to, etc. And I'm just really inspired by some of the ways that he thinks, and also his wife Leila thinks, and she is incredible, and he would not be where he was without her, and she would not be where she was without him. So I highly recommend looking into both of these guys. They know a lot about business, and about Leila specifically knows a lot about running a company, managing people, getting to know people, and building a good team. And so here's some lessons that I've learned from her. Right, so number one is to be a good leader. So if you want a successful organization, a successful company, if you want to be successful, if you are in a regular job and you want to lead your team, if you want to lead your colleagues, if you're a teacher and you want to help lead your students, if you are a parent and you want to help lead your family and your kids, then you have to learn some of these qualities, and you have to be what you want in your life. You want to be what you want everybody else to be, right? And so you can't just say, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then you don't do those things yourself. And so building those traits and getting those skills can really, really help you. And having a certain amount of high standards for yourself. She also really invests in her company, and she has all these check-ins and things, and she spends the time to get feedback when her employees, they write what they did and what they worked on, and etc. And she really gives feedback, and she spends that time to really get to know the person and invest in the person. And so I think there's a whole video we could do about leadership and leading yourself, leading your life. And so let me know if you're interested in that. But she really does a great job really getting to know the people she works with, whether it's her employees, whether it is different companies and portfolio companies that they have with acquisition.com. But she really gets to know people, and she cares about people and shows empathy and compassion, and is really good at some of those soft skills, right? That actually can make a huge difference in your life. And so I'm happy to do another video on this about soft skills, to have things that people want to see in you, and what can make good relationships, and how you can help build an effective team, whether that's in a business or with your family and your friends, etc. Number two, so to work on skills. So if you want to be successful, or if you want to achieve anything, you have to work on skills. It could be the skill of consistency, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, you want to do something consistently. It could be the skill of working out. It could be the skill of design. It could be the skill of marketing. It could be the skill of sales. It doesn't matter, but you need to learn skills. And so both hard skills and soft skills are important. But at the end of the day, the more valuable you will be based on the skills that you have. And yes, it can be about your people skills. It could be about those soft skills, about your empathy and your compassion and your creativity. Those are actually skills, believe it or not. We can teach someone to be more empathetic and more compassionate, etc. So it is a lot of like coding or marketing or things as well. But what types of skills do you have, and what skills do you think you can learn that will help you be more successful in your life? Number three, you can make a change at any time. You just have to make that choice to change. And so Leila, she was in a rough situation. She had an interesting dynamic with her mother, and she had to take care of herself like when she was younger, and she credits that situation to a lot of her success and learning how to take care of herself and to rely on herself, and being the strong woman that she is today, and the businesswoman, and just all the success that has come her way, and the mindset that she had to develop. But at the end of the day, like, you can change at any time. She was super overweight. She was hanging with the wrong people. She was getting arrested, DUIs, things like that. And her dad was like, Leila, like, I'm worried that you're going to die. And she was like, crap. Because she thought her dad was going to like yell at her and be like, you keep going to jail. You keep doing this. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? You have so much potential. Instead, he's like, dude, like, I'm scared you're going to die. Like, I'm worried about losing you. And eventually she decided to change her environment. She changed. She made the choice, because she could have kept making the choice to do the other things, but instead she chose to change. She chose to become a personal trainer and to invest in her gyms and to build that skill set. And then she met Alex, and then they went together and they built this company, and she just worked on herself. She lost the weight that she needed to. She's very healthy and fit, and she just changed her mindset and she changed her habits. And so anybody can do this. If you take anything away, like, you can change anything in your life, right? The goal here is to be happier, healthier, more successful. And no matter where you are, maybe you're on like your way, and maybe you feel like, how could I ever achieve success? How could I ever get out of this rough spot in this rough situation? I want to encourage you that you can. There are so many stories out there about people who had really hard struggle or have made really bad choices or have been in really tough situations, and then they chose to move forward and live a great life. And so there's hope, there's faith, there's ability. It really is a choice. It could be a hard choice to make. It could be really tough. It could be really uncertain and unclear, but you can make it. So make it like Leila. Number 4, sometimes you have to reach your breaking point. So with Leila, like I just talked about, she reached a breaking point where she was like, I need to change. I need to change all my friends. I need to change my environment. I need to change my eating habits. I need to change my exercise habits. I need to change. And she did. And so you can change these things, and you have to reach a breaking point though, right? People are like, are you at rock bottom yet? And sometimes people aren't at rock bottom. Or if you start to feel like sluggish or bad, or like you start feeling a little unhealthy. I know for me, if I start feeling a little off, then I'm like, yes, and I go make a change. But a lot of times pain is a really big motivator. And so you have to kind of reach a breaking point sometimes. So wherever you're at, like, I hope that you've reached your breaking point and then you're ready to move forward, or that you're going to decide not to reach that breaking point and you're just going to do the thing before you get there. So that is a really, really critical part of success and for choosing to change. Number 5, I've learned that people matter. So people are so critical. Life is about relationships. Life is about people. Like, we're all people on this planet existing. We all have so many different interests and things and backgrounds and different gifts. But at the end of the day, it's all about people. And so if you invest in people, if you invest in yourself as a person and invest in your relationships, then you're going to go really far and you're going to be a lot more successful in your life. Number 6, so I've kind of already talked about this, but soft skills matter. So soft skills make the hard stuff work, right? So we need to build these soft skills, and I think sometimes it's undervalued. And I think if you have a lot of soft skills, it wouldn't hurt you to learn some hard skills, and then you'll be an even more valuable person. But really learn the soft skills. I think it can really make a big difference, because a lot of success is with our interactions and with people. And so if you have better soft skills, then you're going to be able to build better teams, build better organizations, build better families, communities, and people. Number 7, learn to master your emotions. So Leila talks a lot about this. She talks about how she's talked to Alex. I do think there are probably some aspects of being a female. I don't want to get into a crazy debate about this, but there are certain things, like, you can't deny it with our hormones and with menstrual cycles and things like that. Like, females and males are built a little bit differently, but are some females not as emotional as some males? Sure. Are some males more emotional? Yes. So it's a spectrum. It's not just a male-female thing. It's also your mindset, your perspective, etc., and just your genetics and how you're born and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, you need to be not so emotional, especially with a decision. And so she talked about, she had a lot of gut instinct, and she would be like, I feel like this is a bad decision, or I feel like this isn't right. And so a lot of the guys she was talking with, or with Alex, or business partners, and they're like, that's not so, like, that's not good enough. So sorry you feel this way, but we're going to do this. And so trying to come up with things with more logic can really help, or explain, like, based on this situation, based on what I'm reading about this guy, I've met with someone who had those traits that ended up like making a bad decision and really messing our company up, or we had a bad relationship because this person has similar attributes. And that's why I have a bad feeling, because he has similar attributes that I think will help us not work well together, or that could destroy our business or whatever. So work on mastering your emotions, work on also explaining your feelings more in a logical way. I think it can really help you. Number 8, don't worry about what everybody else is saying. At the end of the day, you have to do you and what works for you. I know she even has gotten some cosmetic surgery and some stuff like that, and that's just what worked for her. I'm not saying go do that, but at the end of the day, you have to live your life and you have to make choices for yourself. And just like Alex had to do, he had to make the choice to leave his successful consulting job and what his dad wanted him to do, and he had to make the choice to do what he wanted to do. So make sure that you are not worried about what everyone else is saying and doing. People are always going to have comments, there are always going to be haters, and you just have to keep doing what you want anyways and keep moving forward and staying focused on your goals. Number 9, so this is kind of an Alex and Leila thing, but it's do what's required. So what is required to be successful? What is required to be the person you want to be? What is required to be the mom you want to be? What is required to get the goal you want to get? What is required to be healthy or to achieve the weight loss goal that you have? You have to do what is required. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And that's where we have these videos or different people in your life or mentors that can hopefully help you navigate it. But at the end of the day, if you want something, you have to do what is required. Number 10, any good thing typically requires a lot of patience and time. And so you have to build a strong foundation and not try to take any shortcuts. So build a strong foundation, keep doing the actions that you need to, and then move forward. You will be more successful if you really take the time to build that foundation and to not try to skip all these steps or to get ahead in just a roundabout way. Number 11, do what works best for you and your partner. So Alex and Leila are business partners, but they're also married. And at the end of the day, a lot of people ask them what works for their relationship, etc. And you can ask, but at the end of the day, even all these videos on tips and strategies, you have to do what works best for you in your life. Everyone's life is unique. Every person is unique. Every relationship is unique. You have to do what works best for you. And if it works for you guys, then that's okay. And I think give yourself permission to say, hey, this is okay. This works for us. This is working. Even if someone else says it should be this way, that maybe works for them, but this is what's going to work for us. And that's okay. And number 12, know your strengths or your zone. And so Alex and Leila both have different strengths. And so they stick to them and they know what their strengths are. And so Alex is really good at the sales and marketing, and Leila has her own strengths. And so make sure that you stay where your lane is. It doesn't mean you can never learn or grow, but really take advantage of that and say, hey, I have a skill in this. And so I really need to lead in this area, or I need to step up in this area. I think it could really help to identify what your strengths are and then use them. All right, those were some tips and lessons and ideas from Leila Hormozi, a super successful businesswoman. They're on their way to having $1 billion in net worth, and I highly recommend checking out their channel, either Leila's or Alex's. Just a great couple and a great set of minds that think about things in a really great way and have already achieved a lot in their life and been through hard things and lessons. And I think we can learn a lot from them. So if you're interested, feel free to check them out. Let me know in the comments below if you like this video, if you got anything from this video, or if you took away any lessons. Please feel free to give this video a like if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos like this on improving yourself, your life, your mindset, achieving success, and just becoming the best person that you can be and that you are meant to be. So thanks for being here. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.